Om Shanti. Practice being in the stage of soul consciousness. Become introverted. Have silence of the mouth and of the mind. Introversion means to have silence of the mouth and of the mind. People of the world also observe silence of the mouth, but here you have to have silence of the mind by abstaining from waste thoughts. When you have traffic control, you control the traffic of waste. In the same way, every now and then, have traffic control of the waste in your mind. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 14. Practice being in the stage of soul consciousness. Become introverted. Today's topic: have silence of the mouth and of the mind. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Is everyone okay, joyful? Really nothing is there from outside world which we see through eyes or hear brings any happiness, right? So it has to be through introversion, what we call as supersensitive joy. That's the only joy we can depend on. Otherwise, there is a lot of sorrow, there is a lot of hurt all over, whatever you hear. But we are fortunate that we have knowledge and we listen to what Baba says. So we can be internally not only secure, but also very happy. Even Baba, our Father, is ocean, unlimited, bestower. But to receive all that, we need to be prepared. We need to be worthy. So that is why Baba comes and gives us knowledge, and every day gives us some practice, or what we call as a Vyakti signal. Mhm. So different practices Baba gave. So today Baba is saying, have silence of the mouth and of the mind. Sometimes people are annoyed, they don't talk for a long time. That could be silence, but it's not. Internally, there is a lot of big storm going on. Even sometimes you are peaceful, but you have been given a task to do. You will keep thinking, right? Sometimes we know, many times we know what we have to do tomorrow morning. So we start thinking in the evening, right? So a lot of the energy of mind is very fast, very useful, but also needs some discipline. So these practices are like discipline. No? 5 minutes, I don't have to think about what happened, what will happening, what is happening, past, present, future. So it's very interesting to see Baba is saying for that what is important. Introversion, be seated on your throne of center of forehead as a point of light. Introversion means to have silence of the mind. Mhm. Introversion means to have silence of the mouth and of the mind. People of the world also observe silence of the mouth. But here you have to have silence of the mind. Mhm. Abstaining from waste, no wastage of the thought. We know wastage of water, food, money. Right? But now Baba tells us also importance of the thoughts, to silence of mind. One of the practice had started when Baba became awake was 5 times a day. We will play a song and do traffic control of mind and words automatically. Then Dadi Prakashmani in Shantiman started every hour, 3 minutes, silence. When you have traffic control, you control the traffic of waste. Every now and then, have traffic control of the waste in your mind. But what is the cause of traffic in the mind, right? Sometimes really we have to look at, why am I thinking all that? It is fear, is it uncertainty, is it concerns? So everyone should look at Like suddenly you find that your mind is really going in the waste, lot of thoughts. Why so many thoughts? What is in my sanskar or nature? The thoughts will emerge from sanskars. Everyone takes it in a different way, right? Like Baba says, don't give sorrow, don't take sorrow. There are some, they don't take that much sorrow, and there are some, for every little thing, they start feeling sad, lot of sorrow. So, but that also must be from our sanskars, no? Mm. So, how do we find the cause of our habit? Or sometimes it's not even habit, they just come, right? So, immediately finding the cause can help us to stop. Mm. To stop what is going on. I think with then time, uh, practice for few days or few weeks maybe, we will think, I don't think that much now as I used to. And what are the matters which causes in me all these thoughts? It must be different matters, no? Mm. And then start believing power of silence. So as much you remain in silence, you will find you have less wasteful thoughts. So there will be more power. Mhm. It's necessary to think. Mhm. You cannot manage without thoughts. No? Before every word, before every action, even saying something, if there is thought, you will do it. So thought is important, but not to have wasteful thoughts. Especially now when we know that thought has power. Through thought, you can earn your unlimited fortune, income, a source of income, right? But also a lot of capacities, no? Power to absorb, listening. Who is listening? Not ears, right? You try to understand. It's mind, no? So it has a very important role. One of the important faculty in the soul is mind, and then is intellect. Mm. So Dari Janki once said, I told my mind, you are my friend. No, it's said in Gita, mind is your friend, mind is your enemy. Mhm. So we have to make mind our friend, loving, but also under control. It's something very important, right? So churn on that, practice, and see we are better and better. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti, Didi.
Om Shanti.
You are having two Judys in a row.
Right, right.
I know it's Brother Eric tomorrow, but if you had Judy Johnson, you'd have a Trimurti. So, it's interesting. I was feeling last night, this morning, it would be so nice to connect with you. And I had such a strong feeling that an invitation would come to be able to join Chit Chat. And it did come. So I'm very delighted to be here today.
Thank you for.
The first thing I wanted to acknowledge was how touched I was by the Bogue message last night and the Moonly this morning. It felt like Baba was so with us, so relevant, so aware. I mean, even the Murli, to say you can't have thoughts of this shouldn't happen. He's just so with us. And the blessing talked about something in the Bogue message that it's time to accumulate power. So I'm feeling so much support from Baba that he's very aware of what's going on around us and inside us. And I'm finding it very
Experience of what?
Baba's message to the Murli.
I always feel that Murli is not 10 years past or 5 years, is present. Because when it is eternal truth, it applies same day. It's like real. So I always thought, I remember few years ago or months ago, there was a Murli when the war began in Middle East. And Baba was talking about war. So it's like you immediately know that it's current, it's set of present. He's not talking about future. Of course, preparing for future, but it's so present, right? So that's why when Baba said you need power because of yesterday's incident, so many were very shaken. They really kind of took lot of sorrow. And of course, we also had thought that, okay, those who were in the plane, but those who were sitting there eating lunch, right? And so many doctors. So it's like sometimes one wonders that they say this kind of episode has never happened before as it happened. So one is, of course, taking sorrow, wondering, but Baba said, no, you shouldn't even think. It had to happen, it happened, right? Destiny. So yeah, I definitely feel that Baba's message and the Morley was appropriate according to present situations, present time.
I also feel the signal that we're looking at, silence of the mouth and the mind, is very relevant. And I was listening to both Hindi class and now English, and some of the things you were saying were quite, I think, thought provoking, forgive the pun, because in the world, silence means empty. And as you were saying, we can't stop thinking. And so I'm feeling this silence of the mind is a lot about changing the quality and quantity. There's a very full and different experience going on. Even what is this thoughtless state? In the Hindi class, you use the term free, free from waste thought. And that introversion be connected to freedom, that silence be connected to freedom. We have a program going on in Canada, as you know, Baba's program coming on inner freedom. And for myself, I think of it as inner kingdom. And this idea of what does that inner kingdom look like? Very full. So if we're not having waste and it's not empty, what is going on? And I just want to ask this one other point, because you mentioned sanskars can lead to thought. If I am spending a lot of time experiencing my eternal and original sanskars, would my thoughts naturally change from those old habituated ones? Would they start to change?
Because whatever I have to immerse them, no, like love and peace. And so you are, when you are in that experience, as you said, there is a kind of silence, but very enjoyable, like you are, sometimes you are eating something, some people are talking, but you eat in silence. And you like that food, so you are enjoying the taste of the food, right? And you're not saying anything, you're not even thinking anything, but you are really, really, oh, this is so sweet. And so I think same start happening internally as it happens from the external sense organs. Same is start happening with the mind and intellect. Like you are an observer, so you are seeing everything, but you are not thinking about it. Detached observer is still watching everything. So it's like in a silence, but also if few thoughts emerge, they are very useful. And they need it. They're not useless thoughts, right? So it's not that thoughts don't emerge. They emerge. One is like you constantly think. One is you are quiet, but then thoughts emerge in between. And those thoughts are really, it's like, like touchings, that are needed at that time. That's why the thought comes. And then after thought comes, you do what thought is about, and you say, oh, it was good. I would have never thought. It's such a right thought. So I think that doing silence doesn't mean you don't think, but what you're thinking is the need of that time, not wasteful. So, yeah, habit of not have wasteful thoughts, because it also helps with your memory. When you have to think too much, um, then it affects your memory. You have too many things. These days, all of us, I think we have so many things to do, so many contexts to make, that there is a thought, if you don't do it now, you will forget it. So I was thinking that one of the method all of you use a lot is text the message, text the message. Because even to make a call and to get reply takes 10 minutes at least, right? Or 5 minutes if you find that person. But when you text it, then I mean, those who see text regularly, thinking that it's useful, so something is done very quickly. So taking off your thoughts out of your head is also important, because otherwise, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, do it. Same moment, do it. I think can also reduce lot of thoughts. So that's what actually Bhumi Ben and I had been practicing. Take off the head, from the list. Otherwise, your lot of thoughts, you keep repeating that in the mind, right? So that you don't forget it. But let's do it. Do it immediately. I think most of the people now are using their either email or text or whatever in a practical way. But then that also is dependency, right? So what will happen when communication of the thoughts will start happening? That means I have thought, like you had thought yesterday, and you got the phone to be present today. So that means the thought is being communicated. I think that will start more and more. Then we don't have to keep texting, sending email. And Dadi Janki used to say, whenever I have to talk to you, I generally start sending you the thoughts through my mind. And then I say, when I will talk, I will have to talk less because you would have already felt the vibrations or even the thoughts. And it's true, it does happen that when she calls me, I immediately say, yes, Dadi, I agree and all that. Because some kind of similar thoughts, That's what I noticed with Dadis also, because it's Baba's Shrimad, no? So all have to catch the Shrimad. And when they catch it, then when that Shrimad is spoken by one, then like they all are together. All that's the real unity also. Like internally we have already agreed on something. It's only verbally we have to communicate. So there are many powers which emerge, right, through silence.
So, Didi, if you had to, because we say things emerge from the silence and the power of the silence, if you had to describe this silence that Baba teaches us to someone, how would you describe it? What is it? How do I reach it?
No, so you have to begin with, you know, less thoughts, useful thoughts needed, no? So it's kind of keep reducing. And then, but also when we sit in Baba's remembrance, or it's like you feel few moments of complete silence, right? And you capture that experience, and then you create it whenever you want to do it. Like you're sitting in front of Baba, or even otherwise, you suddenly feel your mind is very quiet, very peaceful. Now you want to experience that again, so you emerge it, right? Same is with the silence or silent communication. Silent communication also is very powerful. So I will describe silence more as a quiet mind, or a still mind, or mind in the concentration is very quiet, deep. So there are different definitions, different ways.
Something you said, I don't know how many days ago, but it really intrigued me, and I think it's connected to the silence. I may not get the words quite right, but you spoke of an aspect of introversion, of being able to hear your own voice. And I feel that's coming out of a very clean space, silence. And I didn't get the feeling that it was manmat, that this isn't what you meant in terms of hearing your own voice. I felt there was a lot of purity, actually. And I was experimenting and realized it's incredible self-trust, very pure. And one has to be almost a master and a child. So I hear out of the silence with Baba, very pure. And I put it out there, and then I let it go if it's not the time or it's not whatever. I'm just curious if you could speak a little bit more to this idea of hearing your own voice, its relationship to silence.
Sometimes, a lot of time, people are very confused when they have to decide something, right? Because they have choice, right? And they don't know what is the right, what they should decide. So there is a commonly they say, ask your mind what you like. After, let's say you have a variety of things. What do you like? Oh, give me whatever you like. No, take what is useful for you. So it's like internally, many describe it, oh, my one mind is saying this, another mind is saying this, because there are so many thoughts. So I think that at that time, you kind of look at your feelings, look at your liking, why someone likes blue, why someone likes velvet, someone likes pink, someone likes white, right? And then you have a choice, right? So you will take what you like. So after some time, you start knowing what you really like, for the self. So, like somebody will say, do you like to be quiet or company? I will say, I like both, but I have to see how long, how much, and where, what way, you know. But definitely, kind of a balance of everything is what I kind of like. But I think, yeah, it's like what true self will like is truth, like silence, will like love, gentleness, whatever. And then you think that way and then you act that way also. So listening is really to yourself. See, self eternally is self. But what is at present with the same? So what you're listening is present. But for a moment, emerge the original eternal and then decide on that will definitely be more powerful, right? So emerge your eternal stage and be in that feeling, and then power to discern will emerge, and then you decide properly.
Beautiful. I'm going to have to choose here.
Hmm.
So you said something very sweet to Baba in the Bogue message yesterday when there was this idea of accumulating power, that we have to accumulate power, no fear, accumulate power. And you said to Baba, very sweet, Baba, maybe you could help a little. And Baba said, the Almighty Father is always with you, but you have to become powerful. I have been feeling we're in this period, I feel there's an extra lift, extra help. Now, you have said in the past that we are probably not aware of how much Bapdada is helping us, how much Bapdada is doing. But I've been feeling an extra lift. I don't know if it's because the advance party's so big or we're close to going home or what's going on. Is that true? It seems like things are happening beyond my own effort. It really feels like the grace of God is operating. Are we in a period that we should really take advantage of where there's an extra lift?
Like Dadi Janki always says that when Baba is giving you something, claim a right and own it. Then make it yours. So whenever you feel extra power, take that power, but also feel, oh, now I know what kind of power Baba is giving. So
Right.
next time you should be meet Baba from that stage which he had helped you with. So that means you are progressing also. Not only keep taking, but what you took, you use it. So he could give you more and more. Now, once I think Baba gave example also that when body is weak and even if we say this one should be given nutrition, but capacity to digest and convert nutrition into blood and the energy depends on the system of a person. So we should always realize that Baba is giving, but take it in such a way that it becomes part of your power or your system also, right, of receiving. That means increasing your ability. We had been talking about capacity, but otherwise, your ability to take more from Baba. So it's like Baba gave example of the bird opens the beak for the drop of the rain, but is it just drop or it can keep drinking also? So I think that we have to be a little bit more attentive on when I'm receiving, am I accumulating? Am I becoming that? So Baba has not to start from zero again, right? He will say it's only 20, 30, 40, right?
Mm-hmm. So, Didi, I'm just going to, that was incredible. Thank you. Very clear. I'm going to end by sharing, and you probably know this, but many of the world leaders are gathering here just outside of Calgary, where we are, in the mountains for the G7 summit. And I was reminded that Daddy Janki, and I'm not saying this is necessarily related, but it was interesting. When Daddy Janki visited Calgary, when I was very, very young Brahmin, I barely remember what was going on, but she visited and she said, Calgary will become an international pilgrimage place for peace.
Mm.
Souls will be drawn, because I don't know why they decided to have it here. You know, there's so many other big hubs that they could have, maybe because it's beautiful and neutral. But I'm really thinking about what Daddy had shared and really feeling inspired to maintain silence of the mind and the mouth while they're here and accumulate power.
Is it in the city it's happening, right?
So they arrive into the city and then they drive about 45 minutes into the mountains for the
Mm.
summit, a place called Kananaskis.
So they have a lot of space there, right?
Yes, and it's beautiful.
Mm.
And it's easier to secure because it's out in nature. It's there's not a lot of people, so it'll be easier for security.
Yeah, that is right. I
Mhm.
know that Prime Minister Modi is also coming for
Yeah.
G7, right? But it will be more business and
Yes.
whatever is going on in the world, right?
Yeah.
Some might be thinking about peace, but peace they want left behind a lot because I don't think they really uh, looking for that. They want it, but not very more into solving problems, helping.
No, yeah.
Mhm.
But I
So
was really feeling that maybe Daddy's words planted a seed and
what
suddenly they were inspired to
uh,
come.
what are the dates? I think in July,
It's
right?
this weekend.
Oh,
They're
this
starting
weekend.
to arrive. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
That's good.
So everyone can send their peaceful vibrations this way.
Right, right.
Anyways, thank you, Didi. That was a beautiful chit chat. Thank you so much.
Okay, Judy, man. Om Shanti. Thank
Om
you.
Shanti.